starts right now.
New on the Nightbeat, we begin tonight with a brutal crash over on the southwest side. It happened in the 2600 block of Southwest Military Drive. Witnesses tell police the red Mustang seen here was speeding in and out of traffic when it hit a silver vehicle.
A third vehicle was also hit from behind, but it's unclear by which car. Only one person was injured, the female passenger in the Mustang, who had to be cut out of that vehicle. An officer on scene tells us the male driver of the Mustang could be facing intoxication assault charges if it turns out he had been drinking.
Today marks 2 years since the death of Tito Bradshaw, a cyclist who was killed in the 1900 block of East Houston Street, struck by a woman who police say had been drinking that night.
That woman has since been free on bail and awaiting trial, the pandemic prolonging a set date.
But Bexar County courts are scheduled to reopen on Monday, and Bradshaw's family is hoping justice will finally be served.
The Night Team's Jonathan Cotto spoke with Bradshaw's family, who shared what the past 2 years of waiting have been like.
We're still mourning, especially now since the lady who hit him has yet to be charged. She's just out on bail, just living.
Jennifer Pena, the mother of Tito Bradshaw's son, says it's been 2 years too long since Bradshaw was struck while riding his bicycle by this woman, Linda Collier Mason. Mason was arrested at the scene on suspicion of intoxication assault, but that charge was later upgraded to intoxication manslaughter once Bradshaw succumbed to his injuries.
It's not fair, and we just want justice.
She says their family hasn't been able to find peace and closure on Bradshaw's death, and likely won't until Mason sees her day in court.
They'll set a date and then it gets rescheduled. So it's been rescheduled so many times, and we just want it to be over.
Bexar County courts on track to open back up on Monday for in-person hearings after a year of being closed amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
So we do believe that the reason why we haven't gotten justice is because, everything being backed up, in the court system.
Bradshaw says because of the delays, they've done everything they can to stay up to speed on the status of Mason's case.
The DA office calls us, or we call them monthly. Sometimes every 2 weeks to find out what's going on with the case.
Pena says she is hopeful Mason will stand before a judge as soon as next month.
If this could just be done in May, that would bring us some relief, some closure that, she's behind bars and she's not out possibly drinking and driving.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Harry Bradshaw says the family will continue to advocate for designated bike lanes across the city and has already talked to Mayor Ron Nirenberg in an effort to ensure the city's roadways are safe for both cyclists and motorists alike.
Other top stories tonight, the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office still trying to identify the victim of an overnight shooting on the south side. What we know so far, San Antonio police did arrest the suspect, 28-year-old Raymond Hernandez. He now faces a murder charge. The shooting happened before 10 last night on West Bates Boulevard. Police got a call from a neighbor who said someone had been shot next door. When police arrived, the male victim was already dead inside the home. The neighbor gave police a description of Hernandez, who was found several blocks away with a handgun. Police say Hernandez and the victim had been arguing before shots were fired.
Meanwhile, San Antonio police say they are searching for a suspect who shot at 2 people in an apartment late last night. It happened just after 1 in Sandmeyer Street. When officers arrived there, they found a man with several gunshot wounds and a woman who was unharmed. That man was taken to the hospital with what police say are life-threatening injuries. No word yet on a suspect. A much happier update for you tonight. A San Antonio teen fighting cancer reached a new milestone this week. He received his prosthetic leg. KSAT has been following Noah Adams' story since last year. Noah is fighting a rare form of bone cancer. His treatment included getting his left leg amputated back in October. Now with his new prosthetic leg, he'll continue physical therapy until he can master walking again. Noah will be graduating from Central Catholic High School in May. The Nightbeat continues right after this. Old Peter Rabbit will be hopping down the bunny trail in short order here. Will the eggs that he leaves out there be a little moist in the morning?
It's not out of the question that it could feel a little damp outside at times. First half of the day tomorrow, kind of very similar to what we saw today. Some showers, even a few rumbles of thunder early this morning, but by this afternoon, all the rain had cleared out. I think we'll see a similar setup into your Easter Sunday. The showers this morning only left 1/100th of an inch of rain at the airport. Some spots of the county in and around San Antonio, mainly north of the airport, saw between about 1/4 inch of rain. If you were one of the lucky spots that got some moderate to heavy rain at times from those showers this morning. Right now, the majority of us are just sitting under cloudy skies, but we do have some really light showers in our southernmost tier of counties. McMullen County here into Live Oak County, just south of Three Rivers on 37. We've got a couple of lingering showers down there. Most of this is down closer to the Corpus Christi TV market. So it's pretty quiet for the majority of us tonight, but off to the west, we do have some light radar returns starting to show up west of Del Rio and up near San Angelo. That's the next piece of energy that will swing over top of us tonight into the first part of the day tomorrow. And that's why we do have another chance of some light rain that will kick in tonight through the first part of the day on Sunday. FutureCast showing some of those showers starting to move in west of 35 overnight through early tomorrow morning. And again, just like what we saw today, a couple of passing showers will be possible on Sunday. They should be pretty isolated in nature, but they should move on pretty quickly. And again, as we get into tomorrow afternoon, any showers that develop will move off to the east, and we should be able to get in a few peaks of sun Sunday afternoon to put our afternoon highs in the low to mid 70s. So tomorrow, if you've got an egg hunt planned for the morning, you may have to contend with a light shower here or there. If you don't want to have to worry about it at all, you can move the egg hunt to the afternoon and you will be just fine. Take a look at these temperatures next week. Get ready to crank the AC. Low 90s in the forecast back half of next week. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up next half hour, guys.
I'm not going to even. I'm not making comments on the 90s yet.
Yeah, a little early. Nightbeat continues right after this.
More than 1.5 million people passed through airport security on Friday ahead of this Easter holiday.
Yeah, the CDC issuing new guidelines for travelers who are fully vaccinated, but still advising everyone to avoid non-essential travel. Meanwhile, the push is on to get millions of people vaccinated. The country now averaging 3 million shots in arms every day.
Here's ABC's Ty Hernandez with the details.
On this Easter weekend, health officials are concerned family gatherings could lead to another surge in cases of COVID-19.
Anytime we let our mask down, our guard down, or have unvaccinated people gathering, we're really looking for trouble.
The TSA reporting it screened 1,580,000 passengers on Friday, a single-day pandemic record. Meantime, a new milestone in the vaccine rollout. The U.S. now averaging more than 3 million shots a day. Dr. Anthony Fauci on CNN encouraging everyone to get vaccinated.
It will give you a freedom of getting back to some degree of normality.
The CDC's new guidance saying fully vaccinated travelers who wear masks and socially distance can now fly at low risk to themselves. However, cases are still on the rise. In the last 2 weeks, the number of daily COVID infections jumping 20%. 18 states and Puerto Rico reporting hospitalizations increasing at least 10%. Michigan reporting more than 8,500 new cases, its highest daily case total since December. But there is some good news in hard-hit Los Angeles County. The number of people hospitalized continues to decline, dropping below 600. And in New York City, with venues open at 1/3 capacity, Jerry Seinfeld offering a little comic relief, performing in front of a live audience for the first time in a year.
I felt like getting electrocuted in a good way. I didn't want to get emotional, but I'm really excited to be helping to bring it back.
And Dolly Parton doing her part, last year donating $1 million to help fund Moderna's research, today joking she got a second dose of her own medicine. Ty Hernandez, ABC News, New York.
To the latest now on the attack at the U.S. Capitol, which claimed the life of a Capitol police officer. New images today of workers refortifying the security perimeter around the Capitol, dropping concrete barriers at the North Checkpoint, which was rammed by a driver who then tried to attack police with a knife. That violent attack killed Officer Billy Evans, an 18-year veteran and father of 2. Also seen today, a bouquet of flowers tucked between the fencing, honoring his service.
It is, incredibly sad and just surreal, to know that Billy died, serving our country, doing something that he loved so much.
Police now retracing the final steps of Noah Green, the 25-year-old football player accused in that attack. Police and the FBI have been combing through Green's social media posts, digging for a motive. The deadly security breach comes nearly 3 months after that violent insurrection at the Capitol in January that cost the life of another Capitol police officer. Security measures set up after that were being scaled back, but now all of that is on hold.
Well, the fallout continues following Major League Baseball's decision to move the All-Star Game and draft out of Georgia. The decision coming after a controversial new state voting bill was signed into law. Critics say the law suppresses historically disenfranchised voters in urban and suburban counties. Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp, though, today defending that law, saying SB 202 expands access to votes, secures ballot drop boxes, and, quote, levels the playing field on voter ID requirements. Atlanta's Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom says she expects there may be other boycotts from businesses and tourists.
It is going to impact millions of Georgians, employment, small businesses, our corporations, and it's very unfortunate.
Meanwhile, here in Texas, state lawmakers are considering new voting bills as well. And corporations like Dell, American Airlines, and AT&T have already weighed in, signaling they're keeping an eye on those bills.
About 25 million people will get a boost in their food stamp allocations this month. The Biden administration says it's all part of an executive order adding $1 billion to the program each month. It will go to recipients who were left out of an increase Congress approved last year. The Trump administration excluded them, but they are some of the lowest income families in that program.
Coming up, you may have missed cheaper pet adoption fees this week, but that shouldn't deter you from adoption. We'll check in with the San Antonio Humane Society. That's next.
If you've been to the home improvement store or lumber yard recently, you've seen it. The price of plywood or a simple 2x4 is up, way up. This is just another pandemic effect, and as 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz reports, soaring costs are hitting buyers and builders at the bottom line.
The cost of lumber is hammering Ed Berlanga.
It was well over 100% increase in less than a year.
This home builder says lumber alone for one of his models a year ago was $35,000. By fall, it doubled. Since the pandemic began, the National Association of Home Builders says lumber has added $24,000 to the price of a new home. So what's behind this? Well, besides tariffs, demand just outstrips supply. At the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of mills cut back or shut down, anticipating a cutback in building. Instead, demand for home improvement and new builds went through the roof.
It isn't just new home builders, it's remodelers. It's basically anybody the handyman who likes doing reno projects.
It's harder to sell a wood fence right now.
And it's Roger Gilbert who says some of the fencing materials he buys have tripled in cost.
For our previous customers that got a quote last year and they're ready to move forward, they're really shocked that our costs has really went up.
And when the cost can't be passed along to customers, it's chopping into profit margins. Those home building contracts, Berlanga writes, lock in a price.
Well, if we don't start that house for 60 days later, by then lumber could have gone up thousands of dollars. So when you ask the question, do we pass that along or do we eat it? Well, we eat it.
Bottom line, until the price of lumber falls, expect to pay more for that new deck, fence, or house, because right now, money does grow on trees. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
The San Antonio Humane Society is wrapping up its week-long celebration aimed to save lives. Tour for Life 2021 is recognized as the largest national cooperative pet adoption event. It's put on every year by North Shore Animal League America, a no-kill rescue and adoption organization that works with shelters across the nation to find furry friends loving homes. All week long, the Humane Society offered a 50% discount on adoption fees, and they tell us the turnout exceeded expectations.
But when you adopt out a pet from us, it gives us more space to take in more animals and help more animals in need in our community. So you're saving 2 lives.
Just because the Tour for Life is over this year doesn't mean there aren't still pets in need of a forever home. You can visit the Humane Society's website and find pictures of many pups and cats still waiting for their new families.
Taking a look outside with live cam tonight, 65, a very cloudy day, and I don't expect we'll see a whole lot of sunshine tomorrow. Best chances to see some sun tomorrow, though, will come in the afternoon, with better chances of rain in the morning. Right now, the majority of us are just sitting under cloudy skies, but we do have a couple of lingering really light showers down in some of our southeasternmost counties, Live Oak County into B County, right here on 59 between Beeville and I-37 there. There is a little shower that is moving off to the southeast, so that'll move into southwestern B County here within the hour. Otherwise, really quiet out there for now. But another chance of rain early on Easter Sunday. We'll talk about that and get you another look at the full forecast coming up.
Mostly gray and coolish kind of day out there. Hopefully you enjoyed it because warmer things are on the way.
Yes. Why? I know. It was pretty comfortable out there today. Even with the clouds, it wasn't too humid, so pretty nice. And tomorrow looks about the same temperature-wise and humidity-wise. It's not going to be overly humid tomorrow, but we will be left with more clouds. An interesting note about today's date, April 3rd, 1987. That is the latest freeze we've ever had in San Antonio, a low of 31 on that morning. So now that we've gotten to this historic last freeze, feel good about just going crazy in the garden center. Go crazy. There's certainly no freeze in the forecast next week. Look at these afternoon high temperatures. Oh my goodness. Upper 80s, low 90s next week. So not cool. A little too soon. Courtney said it earlier in the evening. She was like, no, too soon. We're not ready. Yeah, it's going to be quite toasty next week. The only good news here is that humidity will also be on the lower side, so at least we won't have to deal with that oppressive humidity along with this unseasonable warmth that is coming next week. Before we get there, though, we do have to get through another cloudy day tomorrow with a chance of some showers. Temperature-wise right now, just shy of 60 in New Braunfels, 69 in Cotulla, also 69 degrees out in Del Rio. But again, our dew points are not too bad. They're in the 50s, so that's feeling okay. And again, these numbers aren't going to climb much tomorrow, so it will also not be overly humid on Easter Sunday, so that's nice. We've got a nice breeze out there, winds out of the southeast at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. So a nice breeze to keep that air moving around, and we'll have a nice breeze with us again through the day on Sunday. So look at your Easter Sunday forecast. First half of the day, that's when we have the best chance to see some showers and some patchy drizzle. Coverage of rain will be very similar to what it was today. It's going to be more on the isolated side. So certainly not a washout tomorrow morning by any means. But as I mentioned, if you've got an egg hunt planned tomorrow morning, you may have to contend with a little bit of light shower activity. So check your KSAT weather app and radar before you head out. Again, if you don't want to have to worry about the rain at all, you can move the egg hunt to tomorrow afternoon, and that's when rain chances drop out of the forecast. So we've got some lingering shower activity well down to the south. Elsewhere, it's quiet. But we are starting to see an uptick in some radar returns, still well west of Del Rio and up near the Concho Valley and San Angelo. There's another piece of upper level energy. You can kind of see it right here. Some more rain there closer to the Big Bend region. That's another piece of upper level energy, a little dip here or a kink in the upper level flow that's going to move across the area tonight, first part of the day tomorrow. And that's why we reintroduced chances of showers for the first part of the day on Sunday. So overnight, while we're sleeping through early tomorrow morning, some of those showers will start to move in west of 35. Again, pretty isolated in nature. So some light showers possible first part of the day tomorrow. Temperature wise in the morning will be generally mid to upper 50s, 57 here in San Antonio, mid 50s in the hill country, a few spots down to the southwest, closer to 60 to start the day on Easter Sunday. And again, those light showers will be possible, some patchy drizzle through the first part of the day. As we get into tomorrow afternoon, showers will move off to the south and east, and hopefully we'll be able to get in a few peaks of sun tomorrow. But again, I expect plenty of clouds as we wrap up the weekend tomorrow for the most part. Afternoon high temperatures tomorrow, mid 70s, low to mid 70s here in San Antonio, some mid to upper 70s down a little bit closer to the coast. So kind of a gray, somewhat damp at times, first part of your Easter Sunday, and then a few peaks of sun in the afternoon. And yeah, look at next week. Man, once we get into next week, things will really heat up, starting off with clouds each morning, clearing in the afternoon, and that'll help us to shoot into the low 90s by Wednesday.
I feel like after our winter situation, we deserve a little bit of a longer,
like a gradual ease into these temperatures. I know.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Good weather to be in the garden.
Yeah.
All right, the Spurs took the Pacers into overtime tonight, Greg, but they still couldn't get the job done.
It's just been a tough schedule for them at home. They've only been able to win 2 in this current homestand, and they've had back-to-back now games go to overtime. When we come back, it was a fight to the finish tonight with the Spurs and the Indiana Pacers to show you what happened at the end. And a buzzer beater in the NCAA March Madness keeps Gonzaga's unbelievable win streak alive. Coming up. After a day off, Spurs back at it tonight at the AT&T Center, hosting the Pacers, looking for just their 3rd win in this historic 9-game homestand. Derek White starts out hot from distance. 2 straight 3 balls from Derek after his career night Thursday. Then a few plays later, Patty Mills drains a triple of his own, and San Antonio leads 33-32 after 1. Devin Vassell gives the Spurs some breathing room early in the second with this 3, 36-32. Spurs then a little later. How about Keldon Johnson? Muscles his way into the basket for the lay-in, but Indiana outscores the Spurs 35-26 in the quarter to take control. They end the frame with a floater from Karis LeVert with 0.2 of a second left to head into halftime, 67-59. San Antonio responds in the third quarter off the miss. Jakob Poeltl fights for the rebound, puts it up and in, counted in 1. He hit the free throw to pull the Spurs within 2. Then DeMar DeRozan gives San Antonio the lead back on this jumper, 78-76. But San Antonio trails 98-97 heading into the fourth quarter. Spurs down by 6, a little over 3 minutes left. Derek White to Rudy Gay for the tomahawk jam. Rudy had 11 points in the fourth quarter, but both teams are tied at 126 all at the end of regulation. So we head to overtime, and the Pacers make a few more plays. T.J. McConnell scores 6 of Indiana's 13 points in the extra frame, and San Antonio loses their 2nd straight overtime game, 139-133.
Can't give up 139 points. The margin of error is too small. We had some good shots, just like the Atlanta game, to stay in it, to win it. They didn't go down, but you can't control that. So if the shots don't go down, you can't turn it over as much. You can't let somebody get away from us like McConnell, and we did. So the 139 points killed us. End of story.
There you go. That's the explanation. Next up, the Spurs will host the Cavaliers to end their 9-game homestand. Note the early tip time on Monday, 6 p.m. The Baylor men's basketball team entered this afternoon with a chance to clinch the program's first championship game appearance since 1948, and they wasted no time jumping out to an early lead against number 2 Houston. Jared Butler catches the fire with back-to-back 3-pointers, and the Bears lead 33-17. They stay hot. Matthew Meyer drives inside, banks in the jumper. Baylor goes up 40-18. Then in the closing of the second half of the half here, Davion Mitchell drills a triple, and the Bears roll into halftime with a commanding 45-20 lead. Baylor hit 8 3-pointers in the first half alone. Houston does get back into it in the second half. Quentin Grimes hits the elbow jumper that cuts the lead down to 16, but the Bears never let off the gas. Maceo Teague, nice inside for the lay-in. He's one of 5 Bears that finish in double figures. Baylor cruises into that title game. 78-59 is the final.
It's a great start, and guys really playing with poise, sharing the ball, making extra passes. But the big thing was we really guarded first half, really defended well, rebounded well.
When we're all connected and we're all united, it's hard for anybody to beat us. And we got a lot of guys who would start on other teams, Division I easily. Got a lot of pros, and I think that's why we're so good. That's why we're making it to the national championship game.
All right, the second semifinal featured number 1 Gonzaga against number 11 UCLA, and this one went the distance and then some. Both teams tied at 81 at the end of regulation, so we head to overtime. Gonzaga takes charge. Andrew Nembhard knocks down the step back 3. The Bulldogs lead 90-85, but the Bruins respond. Johnny Juzang drives inside. Watch this happen. He misses, gets his own rebound, flips it up and in to tie the game at 90 all. Gonzaga does not call timeout. They push it up court. Jalen Suggs puts it up at the buzzer, and watch this. Banks in a remarkable game-winning 3. Gonzaga keeps their perfect season alive. They head to the championship game 93-90 in overtime. And that sets up for that game. That will be a case on Monday in the Lucas Oil Stadium. Baylor against Gonzaga. And then for the women's, that is tomorrow here in San Antonio in the Alamo Dome between Stanford and Arizona, who pulled off the big upset against UConn. It's at 5 p.m. in the Dome. The third round of the Valero Texas Open delayed due to rain and wind this morning, but they did resume at TPC San Antonio. Jordan Spieth made his move to the top of the leaderboard here on the par 4 17, hitting way off the fairway. Spieth recovers with a beautiful approach shot that sets it up inches away from the hole, getting a big cheer from the crowd. Now Spieth would drain the birdie putt, finish the day at 12 under, tied atop the leaderboard. The man he's tied with is Matt Wallace, has a long putt for birdie on 15, and watch this, he drains it. He finished at 5 under on the day, is also 12 under heading to the final day of competition. Former Texas Open champion Charlie Hoffman moved into contention as well. He had 4 birdies and an eagle eagle on the back nine, including the birdie putt on 18, but he's still 2 strokes back of Spieth and Wallace at 10 under. Cameron Tringali was on top of the leaderboard for the majority of the day. His best shot was this long birdie putt on the 7th hole. He'd fall off a pace a bit and heads into the final day 4th.
You got Jordan Spieth knocking on the door. He hasn't won in a while, and obviously myself. I love this golf course. You got a Texas guy in Jordan. You got a ton of other guys bunched up near the leaderboard. I expect you have to go out and make birdies tomorrow. It's not going to be a day that par is going to get you to win a golf tournament.
Yeah, it sets up for a great final round with a 2-way tie at the top, including Jordan Spieth. That'd be a great finish.
I was dropping stuff. So excited that my Longhorn boy is back on top.
There you go.
We'll have to see. Whenever it gets to the last day, you just never know.
That's right.
Should be a fun finish.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg.
We'll be right back. A giant monster battle royale roars into theaters this weekend as Godzilla takes on Kong. CNN's Rick Damigella has a preview of the fighters.
In this corner, the terror of Tokyo, the king of the monsters, Godzilla. And in this corner, he went ape in New York City, the king of Skull Island, Kong. While the battle of the kings of kaiju is between the big stars of the movie, the human cast are excited to be a part of the action.
I knew not only did I want to do the Adam Wingard version of Godzilla and Kong, but I wanted this to also be the most Adam Wingard film of my entire career.
My first crush was on Jessica Lange from watching her in Tootsie. So when a couple of years later, when I saw the Kong movie and he was in love with her, I got really offended because she was my girl. And I kind of carried that grudge for many years till the shoot. So going into production, I was definitely Team Godzilla, not Team Kong.
My mom and my dad used to take me and my brothers to see the Tarzan movies and the Kong, and Godzilla's movies and all that. So we grew up watching all that.
I'd seen some Kong movies. I hadn't seen many Godzilla movies. I had to do a bit of a catch up. And then I found myself actually doing kind of a deep dive on the older Godzilla movies, which are really kind of great.
Well, they're both very strong monsters, and they're both heroes in their own way. But at the same time, they don't, they don't respect each other, but they're both heroes.
Rooting for extra rounds in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Watched that with the family last night. Thumbs up from Dad.
Looks intense.
It was fun.
Entertaining.
A lot of things broken. All right, finally tonight, something good.
Let's talk about a level up. A classic Super Mario Brothers Nintendo game is sold for $660,000. That's according to Heritage Auctions. The 1985 copy is said to be the finest copy known to have been professionally graded for auction. This particular game was purchased in late 1986 as a Christmas gift, placed inside a desk drawer, and forgotten about for 35 years.
Why couldn't my parents have done that? That's all of our time for tonight. Thanks so much for watching.